Today is October 8th, 2022, and we have something super important occurring today, and that is the fact that Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, transformation, going underground, is stationing direct. Wait, did I say that twice? Okay, start over. Pluto will be moving direct from October 8th, 2022 through April 30th, 2023. And of course, at that time, Pluto is going to be in Aquarius. And so Pluto in Aquarius is a very, very different flavor and energy than Pluto in Capricorn. And I may or may not do, a video on that. I may do either a video post or, Instagram, Facebook post, or blog posts about that. But anyway, so then on May 1st, April 30th, it's going to be that day when Pluto is direct. Then on May 1st, it's going to station, and then Pluto will continue to go retrograde until it stations direct on October 10th, 2023. And by that point, it will have moved. Well, it'll be in Capricorn. It will be in Capricorn. So, that is all that I want to say about that. Now, let's just backtrack to April 29th, because on April 29th, Pluto stationed retrograde, and that was a day before the solar eclipse in Taurus on the 30th, which was all about rocks, trees, grounding, stabilizing, being in the present moment, living true to your values. That's what that was about. And so when Pluto moves direct, it's really moving forward. When a planet is in retrograde, it is looking back at. It is a review. It is, so that you can go inside of your unconscious, inside of yourself, and look at what do I need to fix, what needs to change, what needs to be put aside and evaluated and examined more carefully. That, things I've neglected, now it's time to put the focus on that. Depending upon you, your life, and your experience. And, one of the things I think about when Mercury is stationing retrograde and moving, retrograde, is a gutter. Now what do I think of this? Well, Mercury retrograde, of course, is about digging deep, especially when it's in Scorpio. The gutter of your mind, all the junk, all the clutter, all of those issues that you've been kind of checked off that list until you resolve everything. So that's really the light, but not necessarily light, but heavy, but important symbol that I just want to point out and put into your mind and give attention to. So, when Pluto was, retrograde, it was very likely that a lot of us have been doing a lot of healing work, shadow work, going through past wounds, past traumas, dramas, setbacks, psychological downturns, be it, feeling, a funk, having a certain challenge or issue in the psychological mind that you maybe have been resisting, that you've been sort of looking back at, and sort of Pluto's been shining that spotlight at that issue. And it's not like clear in your face, because Pluto retrograde is over a long period of time. And so the effects are more gradual. They're more slow and steady. They're much more deeper, subtle, under the surface. It's not like a wham in your face. That's really not how it is. And that's really what it's about. That and psychological work. Anything in the psychological realm. Any kind of, experiences or relationships that have triggered you, or maybe you feel like you have lost your power to those things, or your power was taken away from you and, taken out of you. And it deals with, maybe where have you been wronged? There's anything in that area of, anyone, betraying you or giving you the short end of the stick on a certain issue, or, making you feel unworthy. All those things may come to the surface, and now's the time to move on and really have that power and have that authority, but using it in a healthy way, not, tearing somebody down, not bulldozing anybody, not, crushing anyone to the ground because of that. Looks at, maybe where have you been lied to and tricked. And all of these things, be it, relationship, work, things in the external world, or some, like a part of you, an aspect of you, one of the deeper, darker aspects of you that needs to be, looked at further, and so that you can step into that and feel that and accept that and surrender to it and integrate it and, be in the pain, be in the sorrow, be in the grief, be in the despair, be in the shame, to move through the tunnel into the light. Because when we resist, when we put it aside, move on, get up in mind with our lives, then we're not addressing it. We're not facing it. And, it could bring intense experiences. And so, over time, it really has been put into your unconscious mind, or maybe you haven't spoke to it or wrote it or really brought it up into your awareness. It's just been buried there in sort of one thing after the other in a very slow, deepening effect, where you're just adding on this event and experience, and everything just sits, just buried under the surface until you bring it out and release it. And the full moon in Aries is all about speaking to it, being assertive about it, and releasing it. And I have a video about that you can go see. And so there may be things finally time for the loose ends that need to be tied up. Finally tied for the rope to be ended at a certain destination. Finally time for those things to be cast away, thrown out the window, released. And so, again, Pluto retrograde, really digging deep into your heart, into your soul, into your psyche. When Pluto was discovered, the atom was split, revealing revealing power in another layer of stuff. And so I have several videos about Pluto that you can go see on one of my Facebook posts, and maybe I'll try to link those down below about Pluto so you can really understand its symbolism, and you can understand what occurred at the time Pluto was discovered, that all those things really make Pluto what it is. Between World War II, between the fascist, dictatorship of, Stalin and Hitler, you know, so many things just sort of combine in a time period that really give Pluto its key words: power, um, destruction, transformation, those things. So you were digging deep, looking at those issues, and it's really time to let life run its course. Just allow things to happen, allow things to be. Don't try to hold and attach to a certain outcome or a certain form or a certain expectation. Just allow and face what needs to be faced. And so over time we've kind of done that, in one way or another. It's not like, sometimes it's not, conscious and so eventful and so much of an occasion and official as it is just sort of a background character, a background theme, someone standing behind the scenes while the people in the forefront are going on. Astrology isn't just one event happening, one planetary transit and then another. There's so many things going on at one time. So while Pluto was retrograde, we've had, the solar eclipse to begin everything. We've had Venus in Aries. We've had Jupiter move into Aries. Mercury retrograde in Gemini and Taurus, which was a doozy, particularly that first half of that retrograde. The lunar eclipse in Scorpio, and so much more. All of that has been happening while Pluto was retrograde. So we're sort of considering and working with these, energies, these, things happening in the cosmos while other things are going on at the same time. So, a bunch of things kind of playing into one symphony, if you will. So, let life run its course and stand firm in your power. Now that you can move on, what is right for you, what isn't right for you, what are you you are worthy and you deserve to experience this and have this happen to you and be in this relationship and go to this job, or whatever the case. Not letting others take advantage of you or dim out your power. So, it's about releasing the pain, the regrets, all of it. Let it all fall away. We've been sort of the caterpillar going into the cocoon and then emerging as the miraculous butterfly that flies free in the sky. And now, in one way or another, it's time to put away the old, heal the old, so you can start anew. Thank you for tuning in.